What is up, everybody? Clint Esposito here with Steve Sommerfeld. And we are here to talk about very important stuff. Right?
The most important for this weekend.
We have
this weekend, this is the most important stuff.
And it is Nitro World Games. So it's great, right? When was the last big contest? A couple months ago. X Games?
Yeah, X Games. And actually, that X Games and what happened at X Games is somehow reverberating right now for Nitro, because we're hopefully about to witness history.
Oh.
And Harry Bink is one of those guys who could be creating FMX history, and he's still struggling with the broken ribs that he suffered from X Games.
Oh, wow. Oh, you're getting ahead of ourselves here, Steve.
I know. That's why I didn't say anymore.
You jumped in really far.
That's why I'm like getting a little bit of a teaser right now. It's like, oh, hang on. Why are we talking about X Games? There's a reason.
Okay. I got it. You're a professional.
I'm not professional, but I give it a shot.
All right. So first we're going to go over to the... I don't know if I can share this with you and do this at the same time. Let me see.
Go on mute, whatever you've done.
I'm muted now?
Whatever you just did, I can't hear it. But either way, I'm sure it's going to be good. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's cool. So, all right, here we are. We're on Clint Esposito's YouTube channel. I'm going to take over on this one because he's just like going into loading mode on his face. I don't know.
One participant can share at a time. I don't care. I just want to let him see it. There we go. Okay. There you go. Now you can see it. Yeah, nobody else can see it yet. Oh, it got rid of you on our screen.
That's all right. You don't need me on there.
Technology. All right, this one's got neither one of us on it, this screen. So, for FMX Best Trick, we got Josh Sheehan, Harry Bink, J.O. Archer, Clinton Moore, Adam Jones, and Scott Fitzgerald, a.k.a.
Top Dog.
Top Dog.
That's the one. Yeah, like we were just saying before, I saw this list come out, and who the hell is Scott Fitzgerald? Oh, that's right, yeah, Top Dog. So no, he's been around for a long time. I'm not sure for what reason he doesn't go by that name. Maybe he's got some people chasing him. But
they couldn't get him.
It's just Top Dog.
He couldn't get him to put Top Dog on the riders list here. Like, come on.
You might as well. Hey, like.
If you've branded yourself so well that people that you know don't even know your actual name, like, I think that's just your name. Yeah,
that's it. Like, I had, it took me a while to recall who it was, put it that way. And I've known him for 15 years or something. So, who the fuck is Scott Fitzgerald? Yeah, all right, so Top Dog, he's been around for a very, very long time. But I would not have thought of him in a best trick comp. So, well, I guess he rides with Harry and those guys.
Oh, that's true. There are a couple. I guess not a couple. Him and maybe Adam, because Adam has a bunch of tricks. Adam Jones has a bunch of tricks that still nobody does that are super gnarly. But they've been around for so long that I don't feel like in a best trick they're going to get judged that well. Even though they should, because they're so technical. I think you have two ways in best trick, right? Brand new trick nobody's ever done. Or you can do like Adam, pull out the old guns that's been around for 10 years and still like one other person does occasionally. That should be up there.
Yeah, and you know what? That actually is what happened at the last Nitro World Games. When was that? I don't know. Whenever the last one was when Pat Bowden did the huge cliffhanger single backflip, and he beat Sheeny on a double flip KOD. But I think Sheeny crashed the first one, got his ass torn, and ripped his jersey off and all that sort of stuff on the first one. And then he did the second one, landed it a little bit sloppy, and actually Pat won that comp.
Yeah.
So I was talking to Sheeny about this the other day. For the few moments that he was awake, so I'm in the van right now, and he was just basically sleeping next to me as I was driving him back to the airport. And for the few moments that he was awake, he did say he thinks the judging will be similar to what it was last time. So maybe Adam Jones in this competition actually has a chance with those old school tricks, because if he dials them in like we know he can, I reckon. And I've actually had a lot of messages this morning from, we've put this riders list up, and I had a lot of people texting through saying, we think Adam's going for gold here at this point, because if anything happens to the big boys, not big boys, but, if we're going the big boy tricks, if anything happens, Adam Jones, he's stopped everything he's going to do, so he could be walking out of here with a medal.
And that happened before, right? Wasn't it Nitro? Didn't he win or get second or something?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but I do think that I think first off you go for the brand new trick that nobody's done. I think, but secondly behind that you go for the old trick that's been around, that's super technical, that nobody does it, because guess what? It's a motherfucker. And that's why it. As well as I do, as soon as the trick comes out, if it's easy, 30 other guys are doing it within the next month. Yeah, if there's a trick that's been out for 10 plus years and still like 3 people do it, guess what? That's gnarly.
It's odd. Yeah, it's gnarly.
And that's what Adam Jones brings. Like, he's just so technical and has these tricks that are like still, like I'm saying, have been around for a long time, but still nobody wants to do it because they're just ridiculously technical.
Yeah, I'm not interested, and I don't think most people are.
No.
So yeah, who's in for freestyle?
Well, and what you're saying is right though. Adam's going to be super consistent, and those guys trying. I guess we should talk about the. We'll do freestyle first, and then we'll talk about why the other guys' tricks are so gnarly that they may not land them, or just do them super sketch. I still think a sketch, what they're doing, is going to beat something else.
Oh, actually, just quickly before we talk about FMX, there's one rider missing on that best trick list. And that is Jaden South, or Southie on Instagram. So I don't know why they haven't updated it, but his name is on there. I saw yesterday he put a picture up, and he's like, I'm riding. So I thought he was in for FMX, just assuming, because he's like, I thought he's probably more of an FMX rider. But then, I found out, thanks to Ronnie Opperman, old Oppie, cluing me in, but he's actually got something pretty cool for best trick. So that's one extra name to that list.
Well, we might as well pull up the videos then.
Oh.
All right.
Right. It's in his...
Yeah, I got it right here. This is them playing in rain. So this is the other development that's happened. It's supposed to rain the entire weekend there. I was waiting for his feet to just kick out. Right here.
That's the one.
Okay, now that was hard to see a little bit, but...
It was a bit hard to see, but that there could be your very first front flip dead body. And look how small that airbag is.
Height-wise.
Compared to the ramps. Yeah. That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's a big airbag. Like, that'd be 4 meters high.
Well, how tall is that takeoff? How tall are those takeoffs?
I don't know, maybe 6
meters.
Maybe 6 meters high. Yeah.
Which is tall. Was that 15 feet or something?
All right, let's talk feet. 6 meters would be about 18.
Yeah, that's a big range.
19. Yeah, there he is, lined up under the Nitro World Games logo. So that's what I saw yesterday. I'm like, whoa, hang on. What's going on here? So, yeah, it's cool to see he got a last-minute invite to ride Nitro.
So we might as well just talk about best trick here while we're here. So the crazy thing these guys are going for, where we're like, maybe Jones has a chance because there's very high probability that people may not land this.
That's it.
Woo!
That is so gnarly. So that's J.O. Archer at Harry Bink's house jumping onto that big airbag.
So they were both doing it together.
Yeah, and I think that's the coolest part out of all of this is two dudes who are going for the same trick to create history are actually riding together, training together, helping each other. Like, Harry has no need to help somebody else on his own compound.
Right.
But he is. And obviously, like, I've seen, like, both of them have got that Levi Sherwood design swing arm where they've got the shorter swing arm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I guess they've been talking a lot with Levi about it. Levi always said he thought the Moon Buddha would be possible for a triple. So maybe after that they've decided to, like, work on this together instead of fully competing against each other. I think this is actually really cool because one way or another, history is going to be created, and if they can help each other get there, man, it's better for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, here's a whole little...
And actually so the video's there, like, you're just about to play this one now, Harry Bink. The last one was J.O. That's inside Suncorp Stadium.
Yes.
And they've got that big airbag style, foam pit style airbag.
Yeah, this is already cool. From practice in the arena or the stadium for the event.
That's it. Like, that's pretty... I actually think that's a really good thing that they've done, that they've allowed the guys to have one more training session on something that's not going to kill them.
In the country, on the bike they're going to ride. You know, like, there's a lot of variables. The elevation, I don't know that, is there any really...
There's no difference.
No.
Not from the Gold Coast to Brisbane.
Got it, okay. If you were here and then went to South Dakota, you'd be SOL, son.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing, you know, like, Adam Jones, like, I don't know what it's like in Reno, but
I think it's kind of high.
Mountains.
Yeah,
there's a lot of mountains in the backgrounds of his videos, so even for Adam, well, I mean, he'd be happier. This is pretty much on.
And he's running a two-stroke. That is one thing. But even if you go four-stroke, right, where it's jetting itself, you're still down on power because it's adjusting for the lack of oxygen, so it's giving it less fuel, so you still don't have the power that you had at home. Something like this, you need all the power that you can get.
Exactly. So it's good that Brisbane's pretty much sea level, but damn, what's that? A 10-minute video? That's cool.
Yeah, I think he must have been live.
I haven't seen this.
So here's my whole in their flip styles. J.O. seems to be a little bit more just smooth, like fluid. If you watch this, Bink kind of pulls, and then, like, I don't know if he spots or what, but see how there's like a little bit of a lag there at the beginning?
Yeah.
He kind of comes out of pole position, whereas J.O. like yanks, and then he gets locked in, and he just never moves.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought as well. Like, J.O. is just locked in for the ride from as soon as he's pulled it. He's sitting there waiting for that bad boy to come around. And yeah, Harry looks a little bit more. No, I can't think of the word. Man, this sucks that I can't think of words anymore in English.
So I want to bring this up. Look at these two friggin' monsters that are going for this.
Oh yeah, they're huge.
I think.
Oh, there they are. I didn't notice. Yeah, the two of them side by side.
They're friggin' gigantic. Especially for freestyle riders. It just shows how strong you have to be to carry their balls around.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly right. Like, man, there's a lot of work getting done around there. Like, don't just leg day.
Dude. I mean, I don't think, like, that's a joke about their balls, but I bet you it's not a coincidence that these two guys are jacked and doing triples.
Yeah.
You know,
you're right.
Especially if you watch J.O., dude, he pulls. We're going to go back, because his pull, dude, is friggin' retarded. Watch this. Yo. He pulls so hard. Watch. And then just never leaves that position the entire time.
Exactly. He just locks in. And to do this over and over and over again, like, I can't even imagine how much you'd be getting beaten up on every landing. Even though it's an airbag, like, you're still dropping out of the sky 60 feet.
Yeah.
And it's straight down, like, not like a normal ramp where you're traveling forward. Like, this is pretty much just dropping.
Yeah.
And they're getting beaten up.
For sure. That's, and especially...
Is that the new cheetah ramp? They put the flap on the ground.
Yeah, you front flip into the ramp.
And that's not good.
Okay, so here's some more news. And I can find his video too, but Pat Bowden not riding the event. He hurt his arm, obviously. Elbow, it looks like, or shoulder.
Hey, what'd you hurt there, Pat? What'd you hurt there?
Shoulder, I think.
Hey, what'd you hurt there, Pat? Why you out?
I dislocated my shoulder a couple of days ago. I was in Brizzy just down the road doing some physio, so I thought I'd stop in to see what was going on to. Yeah, Harry, I'm about to absolutely send it.
Yeah.
A bit scared.
Yeah.
So if you see from the other side... Okay. Did you see what he did? He double flipped, completely extended.
Just stalled himself out.
Yeah, like he was full lock and still double flipped off of that ramp easily.
Yeah. But look at the ramp. You can see that's jacked up. It's jacked up like, I don't know, half a foot or maybe nearly a foot. And I think they've welded on a little bit extra at the top of the moon booter. I think. It looks like there's an extra foot at the top of the regular moon booter.
Oh, really?
That they've put on. I'm guessing, just from what I was looking at through the week, I was just looking at pictures and videos and trying to slow it down.
It does kind of look like there's a beam doubled there, like where there was those last two squares are an add-on because it looks like there's a beam doubled where all the other ones are singles across.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I might be wrong, but that's what I saw this week. And yeah, looking at that, like they've put it up on blocks a little bit, so it's a little bit steeper again. And yeah, and he's just stalled a double flip. Like, that's so ridiculous.
Dude, I'm going to play this again. He literally first flip, he's as far open as he can go and barely tucks at the very end.
He could not get further away from that bike.
he all he did is at the end he pulled it under him. He never even closed up.
Yeah, just so he didn't land full straight arm and dislocate both elbows.
Exactly. But like he probably gives the same pull, right? They probably to the point where he's like, if I do the same pull but just stay totally open the whole time, it's only a double. Like, think about this right now, Steve.
Yeah.
They're doing doubles just like frivolously practicing for the triple. Like, this guy's doing doubles just to warm up.
But you know what's cool though? They can do that.
Yes.
That if you're training for a triple, he's like, oh, I feel confident enough that I can do a double. Like, I don't know. Like, I almost think that's really good. It's like, you can't train for a cheetah front flip. You just have to do it. Or you can't train for a vault. You just have to do it. But maybe when you're training for a triple, all right, I can feel out a double and it feels okay. And if I just tuck in, I got this. So then I'm thinking more about that you can repeat this again and again and again. You know, like...
Well, yeah, it's better now. You can see that they're just really becoming aware like a BMX guy with rotation. Because they can go from one...
So how many guys... Yeah, exactly. You know, you can go from one to the next, one step to the next. That's what I was going to say is, how many guys do you see straight flip a regular super kicker before they go do a double flip?
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
does that. It's more like I'll straight jump it to make sure I got the distance, and then when it's time for the double, it's
Yeah.
only double.
That's true.
So it's actually kind of cool to see him do that there.
No, that is. I've never thought of that, but you're right. And nobody just goes, oh, I'll just send a regular flip off of this ramp. They're just thinking double the whole time. You know, and I think it's just, he's been flipping for a long time and he's fairly young. So it's like more just intuitive to him than, you know, us learning to flip at 27 or whatever.
Yeah, that's it. Holy shit. Another stalled double. So did you see that ramp beside? Like, there's one ramp just sitting there doing nothing at the minute. That would be I'm going to guess that's the regular moon booter. Regular. That's the,
Oh, this one right here that their bikes are leaning
Yeah, that
on.
one. Yeah. Like, that's not even in position. And that, to me, I think is the regular moon booter. And at the moment, they've got the big boy.
Oh, yeah, you can see the extension now.
Uh-huh. So they've lifted it, I guess,
Wow.
about a foot higher, and then they've extended with maybe an extra foot.
Thanks for converting and not being like 1/3 of a meter.
No, see, I'm talk, like within 1 meter or 2 meters, I can convert easily to feet, and I can convert 21 meters and 23 meters. That's like 69 feet and 75 feet. Like I've got my jump distance down.
The
that's
standards.
Yeah, just the standards.
All right, let's go.
So
We'll
I
check
guess
out
the
FMX.
other. Oh yeah, we'll do that. That's a good one.
Here we go. All right, FMX now. We got Josh Sheehan, Harry Bink, Adam Jones, Ben Richards, Trav Gelfus. Is that right?
Yep.
Dylan McDonald.
Yep.
I have never heard of Dylan McDonald and Trav Gelfus.
So Trav, if I remember correctly, I think he comes from the same town as Matto.
Oh, yeah?
There's like, yeah. So I think whether he rides with Matto, I don't know, but I know they did like a show together. It was one of the Freestyle King shows, and that's when I kind of clicked. I'm like, oh yeah, that dude comes from the same place as Matto. Dylan McDonald, I think he comes from maybe Victoria, like Melbourne way or something. And I've seen like he's not scared to pull a flip on the dirt and stuff like that. So he's got some bike skills.
Yeah, I'm sure.
FMX comp,
I'm sure if Nitro Circus is having them there, they're not.
they got some tricks up their sleeve. You know? They're no chumps, that's for sure. So yeah, they're the two ring-ins, I guess you'd call them at the minute, because they're last-minute names that weren't even on there 2 days ago. So maybe they knew about it, but Nitro certainly just didn't update their riders list. I didn't know about them.
So again,
until I saw
let's get to the schedule, because I'm interested. They did Best Trick first and then FMX. So is that how?
Oh, is it? Oh well, yeah. On that list, it's Best Trick first, then FMX.
Yeah. So is that how the schedule is going to be?
Oh man,
No.
I don't know what would be good.
Yeah. No. Best Trick final is last. Okay. So here's the schedule. And Australia there is 15 hours ahead of East Coast Eastern Standard Time. So for anybody, these times are obviously local times there. So you got to they're 15 hours ahead of us. We're living in the past here in the United States, everyone.
Oh yeah,
Almost a full day.
No. I'm living in Europe, and I'm telling you, they live in the past.
Not culturally. I'm just talking about time-wise.
And I think for anybody who's listening to this who's based in Europe, like Australia's about 10 hours in, maybe 8 to 10 hours in front.
Yeah, because you're in Germany. You're 5 hours ahead of me.
Yeah.
From East Coast time. So the gates open at 3 p.m. How is it they're doing? Okay, track walk I get, but then they do scooter best trick semis from 2:30 to 3:45, and then the gates don't open until 3. There's a half an hour. They're like, we're not really worried about scooter semis. So just
So I don't know. Is there like 50 scooter riders rolling in that want to take on the that mega roll in? I don't know. Like, is there that many dudes out there on a scooter?
But it's funny that they're just like open the gates during that event.
That's true. Maybe as you come through the gates, you're already seeing something.
Scooters
like,
are right there. Maybe that's a good idea.
Yeah, come in and like, oh yeah, but then people will be like, oh come on, I've missed like 30 minutes. Why didn't you open the gates earlier?
Exactly. Our Willie has already done like 10 tricks that are mind blowing by the time the semis are over.
Yeah, on one jump. He's already done 10 tricks on one jump.
So then we got BMX triple hit semifinal, 4 to 4:49, 5:05 to 6:05, a full hour for skate vert semifinals. Then 6:25 to 7:05 is FMX final. Stella, my dog, is very mad at something outside. And then BMX best trick final is 7:15 to 7:55 p.m. So yeah, the only thing is FMX final on Saturday, and then Sunday we go BMX triple hit final, scooter best trick final, FMX whip demo. Demo.
What, they couldn't find any trophies or something to get out an FMX.
They were like, we can't afford another purse.
Man, even if you put up like whatever, $500.
Yeah,
just
dudes that are already there.
Yeah. Oh well.
Then the vert.
Like, what is that? A demo. Oh yeah. Anyway.
Then the skate vert final, and then FMX best trick final. I think that's a very smart decision having FMX best trick last because it's gnarly this year. And also, that was my whole thing with is best trick really first, because out of your riders list, you could definitely have some people not make it to...
Well, this is the thing, like Pat Bowden's name was on the list. Obviously, what you just read there today, his name is not there. So Pat's out, but he was in for both events. And this is what I was talking to another friend about, was Sheeny, Harry, and Adam Jones, 3 riders doing freestyle and best trick. I don't think anything's going to happen to Adam because he's just so consistent. Like, he's Mr. Consistent. Sheeny, pretty much the same. Even if he gets busted up, he'll still roll in. Who was the other one that I just said?
Bink.
Binky. Yeah, like Binky, you never know what Harry's
tough as well.
Tough as hell, but fucking the dude's not scared to send it at the wrong time. Like, he'll just go for stuff no matter what. But yeah, I was like, and if Pat was still in that mix before those 2 new guys came onto the freestyle schedule with Trav and Dylan, that was 4 riders that could possibly have knocked themselves out from one day to the next.
Yeah.
And you don't have a very big best trick comp then.
Right. No, you're right. And they don't even... I was just even surprised at the amount of people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3... Yeah. 6 people. That's not really, like you said, if you have some people go down, you're struggling there in the next event. Which the way that it is, FMX best or free FMX and then best trick. I mean, although you're right, if the ramp is set up, does Harry go for the triple in his run?
I guess he would be smart enough to just leave that one for best trick.
You're in 3rd, all right? Harry Bink is in 3rd going into the finals. Okay?
Fine. Yeah, no, actually, if one of them, if Harry gets like a rush of blood and he's like, I want to create history before tomorrow, I'm going to throw this triple in today and I'm going to beat Jo to the punch. Like, That sounds like a very Deegan versus Travis kind of deal. Like, that's what they would have done, I am absolutely sure. I don't know. That's a good question. I would imagine they would not even have that triple ramp in
Out.
the comp. Yeah. But why? Why not have it in? Like, it would be cool to see somebody like Sheeny might even say that triple ramp is better for him to do a double backflip ruler.
Yeah.
You know, like we've seen him do the kind of a KOD where he was a little bit tentative on really extending it the last time at Nitro. Like just with that little bit extra time and float, like maybe he could just bang out a double ruler as big as he does a single ruler flip. Like that would be pretty fucking cool, I think.
Well, and that's the thing after watching Harry on that thing double flip.
Yeah.
You know, like, why couldn't you do some crazy, like, super, you know, like KOD to then heel clicker double flip?
You're starting to, yeah.
If you can pull, see,
Like-
that's the issue with flipping and tricks, right? It's continuing the rotation. So it's the same
Yeah.
thing with a front flip, right? And that's why you need the quote unquote cheater ramp. Because it's just helping you get the rotation around. So you're not fighting rotation so much that you can concentrate on doing a trick. So once the ramps get bigger and poppier now, the amount that it's easier to spin, so then you are free to do tricks.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You've got one full rotation where you don't really need to stress about what's happening. You can just do what you want.
Yeah.
Go for it. And that's cool, like, because you're starting to see, like, Sheeny, when he feels good, even on a regular super kicker, he can start to really hold that no-handed double backy better because he doesn't really have to think anymore about that second rotation. It's kind of coming. If he feels good, if he's not feeling good, he's getting back on quick. Yeah, like, what's that other dude? There's a Spanish rider. Oh, I've forgotten his name. Completely crazy kid. Chris Mayer. Chris Mayer. Do you know him? Like he's done. I think he's done like double flip combos where he's just throwing in everything in the kitchen sink. Like, he's just got so much time on the rotation. Pretty sure that's what it was. Or maybe it was just a single rotation off the moon booter, but he just did everything. I can't remember. Maybe I got that wrong, but I'm kind of just getting memories of him just doing so much more off that big jump than anybody else.
Was it to a pit or?
Oh, no, it was in competition. I think.
Wow.
Yeah, where was that one? I hope it was. Maybe I dreamt it.
All right, so who do we think is going to win FMX?
FMX. So you've got, who was it? Sheeny, Adam Jones, Harry Bink, Trav, Dylan,
Ben Richards.
Ben Richards, yeah, bloody hell! Don't forget Ben Richards. I feel like in freestyle, if I'm a betting man, I'd go Sheeny.
That's what I was thinking as well. That's your safe money.
Yeah, that's my safe money is Sheeny. My next safe bet will be Adam Jones simply for a podium. But this did we say this in a voice message together today, or have we already said it today? But Adam Jones could win this.
Yeah.
Like, how crazy would that be, depending on how that judging actually works? Because it's something like with points are already given for tricks, and it's more on your execution of the trick. That's how it works, or that's how it did work in the past.
And again, all those tricks he does that nobody does that have been around for a long time, difficulty on those has to be like way high.
Exactly. So right now, it's almost safer to say, if you think of the actual judging criteria, not just on the rider and the tricks we know they can do, I would then say Adam Jones. Like, he could end up with a fucking gold medal.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, do you think...
Yeah.
The amount of double flips that have happened is kind of bringing their scoring down. Like over the last however many years, there's been a lot of double flips, and they've won a lot of things. It's like, how
Yeah.
long can you continue to give stuff to double flips?
Yeah. Yeah. Where the novelty wears off, and we got to go back and look at how good is this dude on a. How good's the run? Like
Yeah.
variety. How good's that variety? How good's the use of the course? Man, the course doesn't look very big, but
No.
I don't know. It could be in terms of what you do with the ramps. If you're single flipping a ramp or double flipping or tripling a ramp, I mean, that goes into variation anyway of tricks. But
Now we need to know if triple flip ramp is going to be out there.
there'll be a cheetah front flip ramp, but I don't know if that's in freestyle.
Right, that's what I
There's
mean.
a cheetah front flip ramp to be thrown into that as well.
Anybody in freestyle do front flips here? Sheehan, Bink,
Sheeny,
Jones,
no.
Richards.
Oh, no, Harry. Harry did.
Oh, yeah,
what did
you're
Harry
right.
do? Lazy fronting.
Again, that's a best trick, though. So here's
That's
the
it.
thing, and you're totally right with Bink. He's definitely the wild card in this one because
Exactly.
you have Sheeny and Jones, who are going to be pretty much solid.
Yeah.
And you know about what they can do. Then you have the wild card of Bink, who could come out and do some kind of front flip. He could double flip in his run. He could triple flip if the ramp's there. But that also means that he could not make it to FMX best trick also.
Yeah. Yeah, it means he might not get there. It means he may not get to the end of his freestyle run at all. There's so much going through your head, I guess, in a run. And if you've got so many different rotations, front and back and normal, and I mean, we haven't even spoken about normal tricks. I think normal tricks on that Moon Buddha looks fucking sick.
Yeah.
So that's where Adam Jones, I think, is probably going to come out the best out of all of these guys. But then Harry could just hang something out and like just go completely nuts.
That's
like,
the thing. He has a couple of tricks.
Yeah.
Harry has a handful of tricks that are massive. And if he can put together a consistent run and then throw one or two of those in,
that's it.
very real possibility he wins freestyle. Very real.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
honestly
exactly.
with Harry, it's more of does he keep it together and not make the mistakes? And does he ride to his ability and not make mistakes? That's it. If he can calm down and put a full run together with the bag of tricks he has, he could for sure win.
Yeah, exactly. Like if Harry will be up against Harry, I think, for this comp. If he goes hard and goes nuts and washes out, then he's lost it for himself because he just needs to hold on. If those wheels land on everything, I think we're going to see Harry winning. But
I hope he goes out.
The level's so high.
Yeah, for sure. I hope he goes out, sets a good first run. You know what I mean? Locks himself in a good run, and then, depending on where he is in points or whatever, what he needs to do, make some adjustments. But just get through it all safe and ride how he can ride, and he could definitely win that thing.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. Then who else have we got? We've still got Trav, Dylan, and Benny Richards. So I think Benny Richards would probably do quite good in this comp. We haven't spoken about him at all. And like we saw, he rode so much better at X Games this year compared to the first time at X.
Yeah.
So, of course. But I don't know what kind of training he has on the Moon Buddhas. Like, I don't know if he's into it that much because I know he does a lot with the regular super kicker and like he's riding with Jacko Strong a lot. But Jacko's kind of more that regular kind of rider. He's not out there boosting Moon Buddhas all the time.
Right.
He probably does have them at home, but I don't think I've seen them down in Wagga Wagga. I don't know. So Benny Richards could be interesting. And actually for the freestyle setup, I don't even know what the ramps are. Like, what have they actually got? Like, do they even have a regular ramp?
On tour, do they have? They don't. They have
On tour
the.
they do, yeah. So they have like I think they'll have like a regular, and then they blow it up to the next gen, and then they blow it up for the moon booter. So they've got like the 3 stages.
That's
But
weird.
you're not gonna have a stage in this event, and there's not that many landings that I saw on the course. Like I've only just seen it as I was driving today, and I've been driving already for like I don't know 5 hours or something. But it didn't look like there's that many ramps and landings in this competition. So, like, is there a next gen ramp? Is there just a regular 75? Is there a regular front flip cheetah ramp instead of the moon booter cheetah ramp? Quarter pipes? I don't know. Like, I don't know what's.
Yeah, I don't think there's any quarter pipe. Although they're one of the first people that did a really big quarter pipe.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that Nitro made the biggest quarter pipe.
Yeah.
The one that I think who won it on that? Was it Colby or
I think it was Colby.
Creed?
Has Colby been beaten in a quarter pipe?
Oh, I don't know. I guess by Corey Creed at Nitro, the first one when they first big bad boy. But yeah, no, I guess I haven't seen any quarter pipes there.
No,
because I reckon that would look sick. Like having the big bad boy onto the steep landing for the moon booter, that would be cool.
Could you do that? Quarter pipe to the moon booter landing? It's that steep?
Yeah, because like think about when you jump onto I haven't jumped onto an airbag, but what I've seen of people jumping onto an airbag, it actually works a little better when it's flatter than
steep.
I mean, not better, but you can handle a flat landing on a regular ramp. So you could probably handle a little bit flatter landing for the big quarter pipes as well. Like you're getting soaked in a little bit, taking that impact out. So I think you could handle it. But anyway, so yeah, I don't actually know what the freestyle setup is. That's a very good question.
Yeah, and I don't see course ramps or anything on here. So, well, that's what we're going to find out. But that's, and best trick, okay? I would say my prediction is I think that from watching the videos, I think J.O. is going to pull it. And I'm not saying Harry, I think J.O. is going to win only for this fact. If you have, after watching them, if you have both pull triples and land them and ride away, I feel like J.O.'s will be a little bit cleaner. And once you're in a judged contest, it comes down to the little stuff like that. So I think that both pull it. J.O. is going to win because his is very smooth and he looks like he's just the same every time. He looks very consistent.
Wow. You're right. And I did consider this the entire time, but most of me's been like, who's actually going to land it rather than if both land it, because it's not going to be pretty if they don't.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know how bad that's going to look if somebody fucks up a triple on that. Like, but you're right. If both land it and you actually then have to do your real job as a judge, and like you just said, Chuck Carruthers is there, so I imagine he's there to judge. Somebody has to win, or they both get 100 out of 100 and walk away with a tied first place.
Aren't you going to be mad?
What's that?
Wouldn't you be mad? Like, even if if they were both totally perfect, yeah. But I still feel like you could split hairs and be like,
of course. I think for the momentous aspect of it all, I'd probably just go 100 each.
Yeah.
But if there is a fair difference, then I would say if both landed it, J.O.'s definitely been cleaner of the two.
So you're under you're like probably both won't land it.
I'm really not sure. Like, I'm kind of, I really want them to,
Of course.
but there's the pessimism in me, unfortunately, that's kind of saying this is so fucking gnarly, and you've got nerves, you've got the time. Like somebody says, go now, whether you feel it or not. Like there's so much that goes into a competition. Even when you're doing one straight backflip, shit goes wrong. And to do 3 of them on the big stage, everything's on the line. Like I'd probably have a heart attack before somebody told me go. Like my heart would probably explode out of my chest and go, nah, fucking, you're done.
This is why we're not Harry Bink.
Yeah. But I mean, you know what? Like, so this is where I've kind of been thinking the last week or two is when push comes to shove, we've seen Harry go for shit when he probably knows he shouldn't. We've seen him land things that anybody else would have crashed their brains out on. And we've also seen him crash his brains out and still get up. So on one side of it, I'm kind of like, I'm almost on Team Harry that he could get this done because he's shown in the past what he can do. Whereas Jo is like a little bit of a dark horse. He hasn't done a lot of the big events.
As far as experience and being in the shit, Harry's definitely... The first time I ever met him, Red Bull X Fighters and I think Madrid, and his suspension didn't show up. So he's just stock...
Just slapping around,
dude,
just bouncing.
Yeah, like
bouncing all around the bull ring.
Rock solid flip, stock suspension and shit, and I'm like, okay.
and exactly, that's what I kind of come back to is like Harry can kind of handle most problems. I'm sure Jo can as well. It's just that we've seen what Harry can do.
Jo's just not been around as much where we've seen him crash and then get back up and then pull it the second time. What was that? What was he doing the time he at Nitro World Games again, Bink, and crashed super hard? Was it like a rock solid front flip or some shit like that?
Yeah, the rock solid fronty. Yeah, and he still went for it. He probably shouldn't have. He was probably concussed.
Yeah,
and he still pulled it and stuck it and landed it. And whereas, I mean, and the other side is Jo has been working on that triple for 3 years? Like, Jo knows. Jo's probably tried that on 5 or more ramp iterations. Like, you know, he was talking about this type of ramp, and then they made it steeper and steeper, taller, steeper, and then he changed to a completely, like, have you seen that huge ramp that he was working on about a year ago? It's like, it's another 6 or 8 feet taller again on the moon Buddha, and he was going almost as high as, maybe not as high as Sheeny did, but he was getting up there.
Let's think about
a fairly small landing.
Think about that. The first triple was done on this ridiculous setup. And within, well, it's been a while now. That was what, 2015 or something like that?
15, yeah.
So it's been a while. But they've whittled it down to, I mean, closer to a normal ramp. It's still not necessarily a normal ramp. But much closer, too, to where it's like, doesn't need to be done on a mountainside.
Yeah, exactly. And think about, like, Kerry Hart did his first backflip out of a completely vertical step up, and we all thought that's how it had to happen, and then super kickers, and then 75 foot, and then 120 foot, and then fucking whatever you want. Like,
I feel like,
and the other thing is you can backflip off the side of a berm on a motocross. You know? So it's like yeah,
you went from having to be on a 12-foot vertical wall to people flipping jersey barriers, like 20 in a row.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. So I guess that's what they've worked out with the triple, and a lot of it, like I said, when I was talking with Levi, it was on one of the podcasts that he said it was all about what he understood is the wheelbase. So you bring those wheels in closer, you'll speed up the rotation.
Yeah.
You look at a mountain bike versus a BMX. BMX spins faster. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, didn't think of that.
Have they
Wheel size, all things. Yeah.
Have they changed their rake yet?
I guess they would have.
Like
I guess they would have changed it.
Yeah, have some
they'd
different
be
triple
bringing it a little
clamps.
bit. Yeah, bringing it in tighter and
Yeah.
bringing your swing arm and
Because you don't
Yeah,
really
so-
need, the reason that you want rake on your front end is when you're going fast, so you don't get the old Honda head shake, and then
yeah, exactly.
we're only
That's it.
going straight like 80 feet and then doing a trick.
That's
So I
it.
mean, if they brought that rake in, dude, I bet they could be, in the back wheel, I bet they'd be spinning good.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. So that's the triple, but there's more than 2 riders in this competition, and one of them we haven't seen anything from.
I
in
know
a
who you're
long
talking
time.
about, because I was kind of surprised. Oh no, that's freestyle, is Clinton. Who are you saying?
FMX best trick, Clinton Moore.
Is he in
And-
best trick? Oh yeah. Sorry, I was reading the lists backwards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, best trick. And I mean, so Sheeny has landed a triple backflip. One dude has only done it once, and that was it. And then Clinton went for the 720 at X Games 2012, I think it was. There was a huge amount of problems leading into that. With he had it. Like I was there. I was with him and his girlfriend at the time, pulling him out of the foam pit every day for months and probably a couple of years actually. And in the end, the reason I landed my first backflip was because Clinton was getting ready for the 720 at X Games, and he's like, I cannot waste any more time pulling you out of my foam pit. Go to fucking dirt or just don't bother flipping. I'm like, all right, I better go to dirt. So then we spent all the time pulling him out of the pit, and he had that 720. I'd probably say, if I remember, it'd be like 60 to 80% of the time he would have landed it. But it was like 2 months leading into X Games. It was almost a weekly chore of him and his suspension guy, Dean. And they were like, and Clinton just would say, I need more rebound on the shock. I need it to come out faster. I need it faster. And so every week they just play with the shim stack more and more and more and more. So it was like ride for a day, then at night, fix it, ride for a few more days, back at night, fix it all up. And coming into X, he fixed it a week before and then it rained every single day. And so he didn't actually get to jump
with that new setup.
And then when we got to LA and he jumped first straight jump on the ramp, he just went, fuck.
Oh, really?
It's too late. He's like, I'm sending it anyway. That's what I'm here for. But he knew it just wasn't right. Like if we were talking about it to just put it back to what he had.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like do it or not do it. And he's like, nah, let's leave it where it is. I'm sure this is going to work. And then when he jumped, he's like, nah, that's not right. So that's where the 720 was. So only one person in the world has ever landed a 720.
Yeah.
Travis Pastrana.
Not in competition.
Onto a big mulch pile, and he landed like 90 to 45 degrees short. Kind of got stuck a bit and then gassed out. Like he was okay to ride out of it.
Well, that's the wood chip saving him.
The wood chip.
I can't believe we've gone this long and just mentioned Clinton, because he's in the same he's in the same boat as Adam, I feel like, where he's super consistent.
Yeah.
Very good under pressure.
That's it.
And not like Adam necessarily always is, but my point is he's very consistent. And I've never seen Clinton get rattled. And he has tricks like the Bundy.
He's got the Bundy. He's got the Vault. He's got 360s. He's got pretty much everything. He can double flip if he has to.
And we know that some of these guys, Clinton being one of them, Adelberg being one of them, Strong being another, that like to hide in the middle of Australia and not put
Yeah.
any content out and then come to a contest with a banger. And the
That's
fact
it.
that we haven't heard anything from Clinton at
That's
all
it.
makes me think he's been working super hard on something for this.
Yep, exactly. And that's the thing. I think, like, somebody said to me today, someone texted, and, like, I don't think we've even seen Clinton anywhere. Like, I think they're in Brisbane at the moment. And I'm like, you just fucking. Maybe they're right. Maybe he's not coming. But I would imagine Clinton's. He keeps to himself. Like, he's not going to throw it all out there.
No.
When push comes to shove, like, he's a competitor. Like, he's such a competitor. And there's few people that I'm sure you've met in freestyle, and like there's a few guys who can just switch off, like Adelberg, like Sheeny, like Jacko, like Nate, like Travis, like Deegan. You know, those guys who fucking work under pressure where you or I would crumble.
Yeah.
And I think that's where Clinton's probably at. His name popping up without anything else, I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, this is, like, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about, like, this is on. But then the other part of me thinks, if he would do it, if he would go for the 720, is it off the regular super kicker, which he has worked on for, let's say, that was 2012 he wanted to land that. That's 10 years ago. He would have been working on that before, probably 2 years minimum. I'd probably say 3 or 4 years he was working on that. So Clinton's been working on this trick for minimum 12 years, if not 14 years, for a 720. Does the ramp that he wanted to do it on over that time, is it that ramp still? Or does he go, fuck it?
So.
Does he go, I'm going to go moon booter. It gives me more time. I can get more float. I can bring it in.
What did Travis do it on?
Travis, the 720, the Travis did it on a normal super kicker.
Okay.
Regular super kicker.
The one that
but
he
it wasn't
landed?
even a big, yeah, and it wasn't a very big distance either. Like, it looked like a short distance, a little bit high, and I think he might have even been on a 125 because he just felt like it was easier to spin. But then Travis also landed, this is my next thinking, is Travis landed the double backy 360. And he said that was easier than landing the 720 because that 2 rotations of double somehow helped the 360 to come around and come straight. And only one person's landed it, and that was Travis. And so then I was like, is Clinton, with Clinton's name there, like, we don't know anything. I'm just completely fucking theory crafting. Is Clinton going to go for the 720 on the regular super kicker? Possibly. If not, if he goes to the moon booter, awesome, he's got the time. Or does he go, fuck this, Travis already said it's easy to do the double backy 360. Yeah. I'm going for the big one and do that on the moon booter. And I'm like, fucking hell, like, I don't know where Clinton's at right now. No. I've got no idea.
It's amazing. I'm excited because, like we said, he's a wild card too, dude. He could show up with something and just be like, blow us all away, and nobody even heard anything about it prior to it. The thing, though, is, like you said, I've been watching practice footage. I've not seen him pop up at all.
The first thing I saw of Clinton in, like, the last year or two was a video from a Freestyle Kings show a month ago in Mackay, which is about 5 hours north of Bundaberg, where he lives. And all I saw was, like, it was a train, and it was a video from, like, the back of the train, and it was like flip, 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 vault, front flip from Adelberg. And then I was like, somebody texted it to me, and they're like, who did the vault? And I went, oh, fuck, that was Clinton. Like, he's still riding? Like, dude, you know, I know he rides a little bit with, what's the guy's name? There's another dude who lives up in Bundaberg as well. Oh, he's going to shoot me for not remembering his name right at this minute. But anyway, he's got every ramp under the sun. He's got Moonbooter. He's built everything. So Clinton does ride with him a little bit, but they don't post it. Like
Yeah.
very, very rarely it'd be like Clinton doing a whip. That'd be about it.
The fact that Clinton cannot ride for so long and come out and do vaults, like I have so much respect for any of these guys. Like even Whacker, you know who Whacker is? He won't ride for like 6 years and go and flip some show, and I'm like, what?
What?
What is wrong with you? Like, just I'm just always impressed with people that have that much just like confidence in their muscle memory or whatever to take such long times off and then just go right back to it. I was never like that. If I didn't ride all the time, I'm like, oh, I'm rusty. I gotta.
Yeah. But I think it might even be a mistake to think that Clinton hasn't been riding. Maybe he has been. Like, I know he's on the tools, like driving excavators, digging trenches and house pads or whatever he's doing now. Like that's what he did even when he was pro. Like even when Clinton won X Fighters, the world tour, he was still working for his mate Smurf through the week. Like whenever he couldn't be bothered riding one day, he's like, Smurf would call him up and say, oh, we've got a job. Do you want to come? And he's like, yeah. So he'd just go do an 8-hour or 10-hour job digging trenches. Like, so Clinton fucking works.
Dude, those guys, all those Australian guys are like farmers, like Sheeny and Clinton, and they're just all like good old boys. They just got a different accent.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Exactly. So no, I don't know. So for me, Clinton would be a huge wild card, dark horse, wild card. Throw it all in.
Dark
for
card.
it.
Wild horse.
Dark card, wild horse. No, there's a club down on the Gold Coast. No, what's that one? Anyway, something about a horse. So then I was like, right, if Jo land a triple, and if Clinton lands whatever the fuck Clinton does,
what if
wins
they
that?
land triples, right? And then he's just like 720 bitches. Does that win?
Or yeah, well that's the thing. Like, is the 720 so gnarly? Like we know how hard it is because we've seen that in the past. That
so they're both of those tricks are at the point where they've only been landed by one person on special setups.
Yeah. So does the triple win simply because it's got an extra rotation?
Yeah, but if you start doing 720s, you're now also in a realm of things.
It's 2 rotation. But I was thinking.
I got what you're saying.
Yeah, so 720 is a backflip and a 360.
More degrees.
Yeah, exactly. There's more degrees of rotation. So does the triple then win, even though the 720 is probably more technical? It is. I'd say.
Yes.
I would say the 720 is more technical. The triple is just fucking balls and hang on and we just send it sort of thing. What wins then? And, then I was like, well, what's the judging like? Is it simply 0 to 100 and the first rider comes out and let's say Jo sticks the first triple before anybody does anything else, and you're like, well, it's either 99 or 100,
right.
And then fucking maybe, or let's say Harry lands it and then Jo sticks it perfectly and gets his 1 extra point or whatever, but then Clinton comes out in 720s or double backy 360. I don't know if he's done it, but fuck, man, like that's so close. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
if they both...
you know what? This would actually is the big one. This should already be in the judging system. If the judging system works the way that it worked before, all of those tricks have a point.
Yeah, it should, because like I said, they've already been proven they can be done. So they're kind of like goal tricks, for contest-wise. But we already know that they've been done so they can set some kind of difficulty.
Yeah, and there will be a difficulty point set to them if that is how the judging works again this year, which I assume after 3 events where it was the same, it'll be the same.
So they have to know what Clinton's trying to do.
I guess.
Right? Because otherwise, like, you have a scoring system set up upon tricks, and if they don't know you're going to do a trick, what do? Get 105 points or something?
or DNF or something, or did not
They're
the
like,
right
that's
thing.
an illegal trick. We didn't have that in the
Yeah.
system. Sorry.
Yeah, you see some like FIM flaggy fucking running over, going, fucking you can't, black flag, get out of here. Yeah, didn't even think of that until just now. Like that trick, if they're using that judging system, whatever could be done is already in the system. I'd love to see that system. Can we call Chuck? It's probably a bit late in Australia right now. Let's just call Chuck and get him on the line.
That is a good talk we need to have. Exactly how the... I mean, I guess prior we want to figure out if that's in the system.
Yeah, exactly. So
We
that's a big one.
There's so many questions I have now. This just made more questions for me than answered anything.
Yeah, you thought we were going to do like a preview kind of, this is what's happening, everybody. Now you know the score.
Yeah.
Sit down and watch it. Now we're like, fuck, what's actually going to happen?
Yeah, now I'm like, what
And
is
you know
Clinton
what?
doing?
But don't you feel better about it now? Like, I'm actually genuinely fucking excited.
I'm very excited.
This is fucking cool.
Even for FMX, because, like we said, the possibility of just the moon booter being out there and then some of this stuff getting thrown, you know what I mean, in runs. Especially those first couple of guys are real close, and then you don't know what's going to...
That's it. Things can get crazy pretty quickly, and depends what... Yeah, somebody gets hot under the collar and just wants to send it.
Well, we know who that is.
Well, that's it. We know who's got that for best trick and for freestyle. So, also, still in best trick, though, Josh Sheehan. I'm pretty sure he won one of the Nitro World Games, I think, for best trick.
How funny is that we haven't really gone over him that much? Because you kind of know what he's going to do, right? Do we?
Yeah.
Or has he been working on some... I don't feel like that either.
He wasn't cagey when he was sitting beside me here in the van, but I don't think he's actively worked on something bigger for this one. I think I'm going to guess it'll be that double KOD.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe push that to a nice big double ruler. That's kind of where I see Sheeny going.
That's where I was kind of thinking as well. Because, you know, unless you've put the work into the triple or something, like, he could still very well win.
Yeah.
Those two guys
those
crash.
3 dudes we just spoke about could all fucking crash.
All them crash, and you know who's going to be consistent and still has big tricks. Sheehan.
Yeah, that's it. He still rolls in and walks out with a gold medal. It's not...
Or a bronze and just feels comfy because he's doing shit he does all the time versus these other dudes stressing and working on things that they haven't really landed yet.
That's it. Sheeny's just turning up to just another Nitro show like every other 1 out of 70 shows for the year. Like, oh, well, fucking same ramp, same, she's
and that's
sweet,
where I put Clinton in there too, because he's the same way. Like, he's just he does that stuff all the time. Once he learned a trick, like a Bundy or a vault, he just did them everywhere, and they just became normal for him. So it's like, he just rides at that level. Probably practices, does vaults by himself in the field.
Wait. I was just thinking then. What do you think about if Clinton has been secretly fucking working at home and he's got a double fault going on a moon booter? Imagine if he... I've had that chat with him. Like, this was 10 years ago. We were talking about this 10 years ago. And I remember he kind of shattled over it a bit, but you could see, like, the cogs were turning in his head. He's like, oh... yeah, but if you're going to do it, you know, blah, 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 blah. He was like thinking of how his technique would have to change to get it done. But I don't know. Like, that's not out of the realm of possibility for him. Because people have talked about double vaults in the past. Nobody's really, I don't think anyone's actually attempted it. Or if they have, they probably flew off to the side in the foam pit and never gave it a real shot. But I've had that chat with him. I don't know. I'm just... his name coming out of nowhere gets me nervous.
Makes you think he's got something that he's been working on that he's just not told anybody about.
And actually, before we move on to anybody else, there's one big thing and I might have said this in my little preview as well. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Clinton always told me, he was like, I just want to land my 720, get my X Games gold medal, and I'll be happy to retire. He's basically kind of been retired for a couple of years in the sense that we haven't really seen him do an awful lot. Like, he'll pop up occasionally, but he hasn't been that same Clinton Moore turning up to every event. So him putting his name down, in my mind, that's like, and this is Brisbane, which is 4 hours from his home. Like, it's his home state, Queensland. Like, is this the big one? Whatever he does, no matter what he's doing, like, he's not coming for a laugh. Like, he's coming to fucking win this thing. So,
and especially being half retired, like you said, like not, or like whatever, like kind of, that, and with that goal in mind, he's not coming to just ride something.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I probably feel more serious about him winning it over anybody because he has that goal, and he's always said it. Like, yeah, that's a 10-year-old chat.
And he's playing it smart right now, though, if he has something in the bag, right? Because right now, all the buzz is about those two guys triple flipping.
Oh.
So he's got no pressure, really.
Yeah. He's got no pressure. The only negative of not saying anything, I think, is kind of like the David Ronaldo effect at X Games when he did that bobby spin body varial and nobody knew what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
And whether he was going to beat Adelberg on that front flip or not that time, like, I kind of always come back thinking, I don't think anybody knew what he was doing. We didn't know until we watched the replay like 10 times over in slow motion. Like, that's what he did.
So it was too much. You think it was too much dropped on the judges just last minute, where they're just like, we don't even know.
Yeah.
Like I was saying about the trick not being in the scoring thing, and then you do it, and we're like, we don't know.
And not to look like a judge who's completely fucked up. Let's go with the safe bet because we didn't know what that was, and triple wins, and just go with what everybody perceived.
But that's what I would think, that they have had the talk. He's just not putting it out.
Yeah.
They had to have, to get invited even.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure there was some, hey, I'm working on this, or I want to try, so.
I think if Clinton called up and said, I've got something, they'd probably be like, all right, fucking.
Didn't even elaborate.
See you on Saturday. See you on Sunday. We'll see you then.
Exactly. He's proven himself. If he says something like that, let the guy in. He's definitely bringing something.
I don't think he's under the same category as Willie Watts.
No, definitely not.
Oh,
they're like,
that poor dude.
I know. Still, this is 10 years later. You just blew him out on the internet. He hates dirt bikes now, Pry.
Fuck, I would too. Oh, poor dude. So what's that? We've done 4. The other 2 is... No, there's 3 because there was an extra name put on that list that hasn't got on the list, sorry. Southie. Who else?
Top Dog.
Top Dog, yeah, fucking Top Dog. I don't know what he's got, but he's in there.
And we know Southie's got a front flip dead body from watching that video before.
Oh, and Adam Jones.
But again, and I don't know this, but we're assuming he's going like turntable to like Mick Metz or something crazy that...
Man, I'd have fucking... if he went on that triple flip moon Buddha, he should be able to do like 3 turntables and 2 Mick Metz's minimum. Like, there's a fair bit of time on that jump.
He could probably do holy grab, rock solid indie, one-handed grab, two of Mick Metz.
Oh, that would be nice. But actually, I mean, this ramp is what Adam jumps this every fucking Nitro show. So we know what he does, and he does it every day. Like, dead body backflip. Perfect. Holds it so long. He's got rock solid flips now on that ramp. So, I mean, that's a big trick still. I mean, it's not going to win. Well, it would if everybody comes off. But, Still a big trick. Still a fucking best trick.
But I feel like he's doing the tour too much to really be coming out with. Also, knowing Adam the little bit that I do, he's a little more of a play it safe. You know, like I don't think he's going out there trying to do anything he's never done before.
Yeah, this isn't 2008 X
Exactly.
Games Adam Jones.
Exactly.
This is 2022 38-year-old Adam Jones saying,
Been doing this shit for too long.
yeah, like why am I even getting an invite? But all right, I'll turn up. I'll do the job. You know, like, yeah. So I think for safety, Adam's at least looking at a podium. If everybody goes fucking nuts again, and yeah, it goes nuts. But so I mean, Adam, big tricks like normal. Southie, we like I said, we saw that front flip dead body. That would be cool to see. Adam backflip dead body, just hold it, and then Southie front flip dead bodies it. That'll be cool to see. I hope they put them like one after the other.
Yeah.
Just for TV. Like
that's
I'd just
unfair though. That's unfair though because front flips are awkward, and Adam's got backflip dead bodies like super dialed. So
yeah,
that's a little.
Who's gonna? Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, who's gonna win that one?
Well,
like, how does the judging work? You know?
No, and I would imagine that unless you, unless he crashed or something, I would imagine that it would go to Southie just because it's new and nobody's done it.
Yeah,
period.
Exactly. That's it. Yeah, nobody's done it. Nobody's ever done that trick to dirt or landing, whatever landing you want to call it. And the other one was Scott Fitzgerald, the name that nobody knows. Top dog. He rides with Harry Bink. So they're at the 50-60 compound down on the Gold Coast. He's helped build the whole place. He's been there from day dot that compound's been there. So I'm guessing he's spent a fair bit of time in that foam pit, in the airbag.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not been working on a best trick. I don't know. But I just saw something on Instagram the other day of him just like in the foam pit. I was like, hang on, saying he's going to do this combo. I wonder what he's.
Oh, just saying he's going to do a combo. You didn't actually see what it was.
Just said he was. Yeah, he just said he got the invite to Nitro, and I'm like, oh, cool. That's interesting. But I mean, Top Dog must be like 35, 6, 7, 8. Like he's an old dude.
Yeah.
Like, but he rides with Birchie, Sawley, Harry, like all those guys that are there. Like they all push each other a lot.
Yeah, all those guys are gnarly. Just even the guys that aren't that, contest
even
guys are still...
the guys who aren't even in this comp going big are still gnarly. Like, it's fucking crazy. So, I don't know what Top Dog's got. That'll be... He's another dark horse. Like, he's sitting with Clinton at the moment of we don't know what we're going to get. So there's two real dark horses in this comp.
And again, with the stuff that the other people are trying, at least J.O. and Bink, because we don't know what Clinton's doing, there's a good probability that one or both may not land their tricks. So you have these guys come in with something different, and then boom, they got a podium.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like, is that when... What was his name? Davey Johnson turned up to Nitro and did
the decade.
Yeah, he did the decade. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did the decade. He did something else
before that.
He did a vault off of a quarter pipe, like out of the quarter pipe, and then didn't. I don't even think he landed. I don't know. Maybe he did come back down like on the 180, but he did a vault off of that. The fastest vault in the world.
Yeah. So Davey, here's a little story about Davey. We had the amateur freestyle motocross tour here, and Davey started riding in the novice class on that tour, and he started battling with another kid, Alton Brown, and those two kids went from the novice class to the amateur class. And then Alton started doing tons of shows with us, and Davey started working on weird tricks to go to X Games or Nitro World Games.
So do you have contact to him?
Yeah. I could
Do
get a
ya?
hold of
Because
him.
I can't. Like, is he on Insta or Facebook?
I'm sure
or
I
anything?
could find them. They're hard. They're like truck drivers down there. That's all they deliver. They're
Yeah.
like hot shot drivers or something. Him and his dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I was always trying to find him and I couldn't fucking find the dude.
I could
At
find.
all.
I'm sure I could find his contact. I bet I
Cool.
still have his dad on Facebook.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was like, is he still trying stuff? Like, is he still right? Don't know.
Don't know. Again, he's
Like
I know
Clinton-
as much
like
as you do
Clinton,
at this
nobody
point.
fucking knows.
Exactly.
Fucking hell. He's a truck driver. Clinton's an excavator driver.
Yeah.
It all kind of works, you know? So, yeah, that's crazy. So, you know what? So, we've covered kind of everybody riding this thing. There's a few riders that actually aren't there. Javier Villegas, he's ridden a fair few nitros.
Yeah.
And I know he's not scared to, like, when push comes to shove, he'll try something new on the moon booter or a front flip or whatever. Like, so Javier's not there, which means he probably hasn't trained at all on that ramp. But then, and I just got a message today from Mark Pignol, who's from Spain.
Yeah.
And I just replied back to him this morning. I'm like, hang on. Why the fuck aren't you in Brisbane right now? Like, he was at the very first Nitro World Games.
Yeah.
He does all these weird and wacky things. Like, what's the trick he did? It was like a seat grab front flip that he called the inside roll.
Mm.
And I think he landed that for the first time. Oh, maybe it was, whether it was the first time or not, it was one of the first times he ever did it was at Nitro World Games. He's done it at Night of the Jump. So he's got that trick that he knows he can do. Nobody else can do it. And then I'm like, and he's not scared to try weird shit as well in the foam pit off of any ramp. So I'm like, where are you? Turns out he's in Saudi Arabia about to do a huge show tonight. So he's not there. But Leo Fini and Davide Rossi, the Italians, they flew themselves over to America for Nitro World Games. And Leo's got some weird stuff that he's been working on. Davide Rossi's not scared to just try one big trick. So, yeah, like as my message went to Pignol this morning, I'm like, where the fuck are you guys? And why aren't you there? Like, this opportunity is on. And, yeah, I was just
even who you brought up before, Ronaldo.
Yeah, Ronaldo. Man, that dude can fucking ride any ramp in front of him, but I know...
If you look at the rider list, though, everybody's Australian except for Adam Jones.
Yeah, exactly. So that to me tells me something a little bit more about how this event's come about. That is it money that nobody's flowing in? You know, like when you've got X Games on, X Games don't pay jack shit.
Yeah.
So you have to pay your own way to get there. You're only going to pay your way there if you think you're going to win.
Right.
So how many Americans would be able to fly in knowing they're going to win this? Like, is this prize money only, or is there like a bit of here's some fuel money,
travel money,
here's a bit of money for a flight or something? I'm guessing not. I think if flights were on offer, you would probably see guys fly in like Ronaldo or Malero or Remy or I don't know. Like you might see a few or the Japanese guys. Like there's a few Jap riders.
You can't say that.
Japanese?
You said Jap, then you can't say that.
Is that bad?
No.
Oh, shit.
In America, everything's bad. You got to watch it.
Oh shit.
Oh, and then and now your sound's going up, so you're really
No, my wife just tried to call me, which just automatically muted me. She probably knew, like she's totally the political correctness police. So she probably like, is this live right now? Like maybe she's watching it.
She watched.
Oh
she got
shit.
Mad.
Yeah, she's like, for fuck's sake, I
can't
told him
say
not to
that.
say anything. Yeah, and then he starts swearing again. No, so there's riders all around that could have a good shot, but only Aussies turned up plus Adam Jones. I mean, because Adam's probably like, well, if everybody falls off, I got another medal. So yeah, that to me kind of tells me this is prize money only. nobody's willing to really risk the training, the time, and then their own money to
Yeah,
go
but who
for it.
else?
They don't have any.
What else? I mean, I guess around the world. I'm just thinking Americans. Who else is even in America that can compete? You know, like Raha and Axel don't have the tricks to compete with these guys. So it's like, who
What
do
about
we?
that Colby kid? Colby 32-1.
What can I not think of his name now?
Yeah.
Colby.
Yeah, I've forgotten it.
Damn it.
All I remember is his Instagram.
I know
handle,
him too. I've ridden with him a long time ago. He was real young.
Yeah. So you're the bad guy now for forgetting people.
Yeah,
So I've got
yeah, dude,
I've got
do.
Clinton's mate in Bundaberg who's probably shitting on me right now, going, "Fuck, we always talk." Like, yeah. Anyway,
He had two guys with him one time in Madrid, and they were awesome. He had the general, and the other dude was a supercross racer. I don't remember his name. Tall guy who was all tattooed. But anyway, I hung out with those guys the whole time. They were awesome. They were trying to get me to go to Ibiza with them, and I'm like, bro, I'm gonna miss my flight. This sounds like a very expensive detour.
A very very fun but expensive detour. Yeah, definitely. No, so Americans, I don't know if there'd be anyone that could really shake that one up anyway. Tucker Higashino. I mean, speaking
Basically
of Japanese
American.
riders, but basically American. That's where I was thinking. I'm like, well, Tucker.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, but that's kind of it.
Yeah. And then, yeah, there's a few Euro guys that could do the job, but they're not there. Like you said, David Ronaldo is one big name.
Yeah.
And he's on holidays in America right now. Like, I just saw him putting up photos from the Grand Canyon. So he's not... He's in go slow mode. So Ronaldo's not interested at all.
No.
Yeah. I mean, do the other guys even have a ramp for it? I don't even know if there's even a moon booter in Europe. I don't even know if anybody's got one. So if you don't even have the tools to fucking learn the job or to learn your tricks for your job, then you don't turn up to a job site without a drill. So yeah, you might as well not.
That's true. That's probably the difference, right? Because these ramps are not your standard ramp, so it is a little, even just going to ride anything is a little bit of a, adjustment.
So that's exactly. So now that's a big thing that we were talking about as well, like with media and everything like that. Ramps, like everybody, that's why I tried to make as much accessible as possible. I do have moon booter plans, but I got them from somebody that I don't trust that they're the correct moon booter plans. That's the problem. I think I'd almost only trust it if it came from Harry or somebody at Nitro directly and said, this is the moon booter plan, build that one. I have seen other ones, but I don't believe them that it's actually right. And if you're going to build a moon booter, one, that's a lot of steel, so it costs a lot. Two, if you
need a big landing.
You need a big landing. That's it. Big landing and a big foam pit, because I don't think I'd take that to dirt.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think I'd be jumping that ramp to foam for the first shot anyway. I don't even think I'd stick it at dirt and jump it. I'd probably just crap myself. I remember when Harry first put the moon booter at the 50-60 compound and they stuck it in there, and I remember watching them all jump it for the first time to dirt. Like, that looks scary as hell.
Yeah.
Like, just to this wall of dirt, and then where am I going to go on this thing? Like, if I go long, doesn't matter what landing you've got. That'd be horrible.
It would be horrible.
So that's the thing. Like, just having the ramp. Who's going to invest in themselves that much to do it? Or are you a show rider and you're like, I'll just keep jumping my 75-footer every day?
I know a person that's got the skills and would go and do it, and that is Luke Ackerman.
There's a big name that you didn't. Yeah. So there's a big one. Luke Ackerman.
And he's right now, he's on one. He's throwing down some shit, so.
And he's like J.O. and Harry.
Yeah, built like a friggin'
brick
truck.
Shit. Yeah, built like a truck. Exactly. Like, whew. I think if Luke had the facility, he would be going for triples.
Yeah. But
like,
why does he not with the Red Bull deal? Like, I feel like, and you know, they put together that big video. Obviously, that's a one-off thing for content, but I feel like they help their riders a lot.
Yeah. I don't know why. I'm really not sure why he doesn't have the tools. Because like he's their number one man now. Like we haven't seen Tom Pages in a competition in a very long time. Like I would almost go as far as saying Tom's probably done without having said that he's done. Levi's retired. So in Red Bull, Luke's your man.
Yeah.
Like, well, who else is Red Bull? Tyler Berriman ain't doing it.
That's the thing. Trick-wise, straight up FMX trick-wise, he's top dog, I would say, for them.
Yeah. Red Bull, Luke Ackerman. That's it. Job done. And as far as I'm aware, he doesn't have the setup for it. So, yeah.
He definitely seems like a candidate for triple flips, right? Like, he's built. He likes going big.
Yeah.
Like.
And he does shit when he knows he's probably going to get hurt, and he still goes for it. He landed the first.
I feel like he's in between Bink and J.O.
Yeah.
He's like...
No, I'd probably still put him with Harry. I'd still say he's in Harry's boat.
That's true. He does crash some shit sometimes, and you're just like, what happened there?
Oh, man. Like, there was... I think it was like the 2018 and 19 season of Night of the Jumps. 10 events per year. So in 20 events, he would have hit the ground 10 times.
Wow.
Like, he was either winning those competitions or he didn't go in an ambulance somehow, but he was not walking too well at the end of it. You know? Like, double flip crashes, those surfer to tsunami crashes where he stands on his seat and the biggest ruler flip you'll ever see. Like, he'd turn those things into the biggest corkscrews you've ever seen. Like, almost like a 360 ruler. And, like, man, he was taking dirt samples so bad. He'd just get back up.
I know. I saw some shit he bounced off the ground so hard. And then he just, like... And I'm like, oh, my God. 90% of people would just be in a... ball on the ground.
Yeah, in traction. And you know, like he's the first and only dude to land a double backflip from dirt. So spinning that bike ain't a problem, and on different ramps isn't a problem. So if he had the opportunity for a triple, he'd be giving it a shot.
Yeah.
So I guess so that's the next thing. Everybody needs to up their game to get the tools for the job. And that's where FMX 3.0 goes with Web 3.0. With three flips, FMX 3.0. There you go. I've called it.
That's the next frontier. All right. Let's wrap it up. We were at an hour and a half.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Man, that's probably why my wife's calling. Like, I've been away for 2 weeks.
She's like, where are you?
I said I was going to be home actually yesterday, but then I slept in the Ardennes region in Belgium. That was so nice. I was going to go mountain bike riding this morning, and then it just rained all through the night and all today. And, you know, I don't like getting dirty anymore. And so I've still got another 4 hours drive, I think, to get home.
We're going to be in trouble. So, when's your wedding? Tonight or tomorrow?
Tomorrow is the wedding for our friends, but I was told 2 weeks ago, don't be fucking coming home the Friday night before, and blah, blah, blah. And then I'm going to exactly, like, what's the time now? It's 4:45, so I'll be home minimum 8:45, but that's not too bad.
You better.
She did say, don't be turning up at midnight on the Friday.
You have any traffic, and guess what? You're in there.
No, I'm taking all the small roads. No autobahns here. I'm taking like the most direct route from London to my home in Germany. But I'm not taking highways, so I hope there's no traffic on these small roads. So I should be sweet.
Probably some livestock in the way or something you'll have to wait for.
Man, fucking, there's a lot of cows I've been driving past lately. Like, fucking, I'm a farmer, you know. So there's a Belgian blue. Like, the cow is just called a Belgian blue.
Uh-huh.
It looks like a normal black and white milking cow, which is what we had on our farm. But these things look like Harry Bink. Like, it looks like they're on steroids. Yeah. Fuck, man, it's so crazy. Like, I was just driving going, how does a cow look like that? Like, it's just this block of meat on 4 little legs. Like, it's so crazy. So that's where I've been. I've been driving in Belgium. Anyway, that's my story for today.
All right, everybody, leave your predictions. Who did we leave anybody out? Is there anybody that should be there that we forgot? I feel like we didn't, but you never know.
An hour and a half, if we left anybody out, like, we should not be doing our job.
All right, guys, comment. Thank you. Listen to the Riders Lounge podcast and the Clint Esposito show.